you get around this person, right? And it don't matter if you're female or male, because we have to make sure that, we all are in this, right? And you're talking to this person, and they'll tell you certain things in their past relationship. And this past relationship that they were in, you seen that, okay, cool, that was a flaw that they had. You know what I mean? And then after that, after a few minutes and having a conversation with them, it could be in the same day, it could be the next day, the next time you speak to them, there's another flaw that they have. And you question yourself. And this is more than 2 flaws. And you seen that, yo, this person's kind of a little funny, but you thinking to yourself, you don't judge anyone. But at the same time, it's like, you have to think twice. You have to go and ask people that are close to you. You know what I mean? Ladies, you got your BFF. Fellas, you got your boy. You know what I mean? Your main man. He's gonna put you up on game. He's gonna break it down to you. But you seen that they have qualities that they like, that you're attracted to. For example, they're hardworking. You see that they're beautiful, right? Ladies, fellas, that female, she's a real beautiful woman. You know what I mean? She got a lot going for herself. She has a good career. She can be independent. But no matter what the situation is, you pick up on flaws that they have. You've seen that, they have certain situations that they're into. You be like, yo, that's kind of funny. But at the same time, you'll stick to it because you feel that, what, maybe they can change if they're with you. And mind you, you're not in a relationship with them, but things are just off. Now, let's talk about a friendship. This person likes to get into arguments all the time. You're sitting there and this person is gossiping. These are just things that they're into, and this is not who you are. And you find these things, yep, I'm going to say it. But before I introduce myself, let me let you know this is your best friend, your new best friend, Gene. And let's talk about it. These flaws that these people have are red flags. And what we're going to talk about, you cannot ignore the red flags in people, man. You can't. Stop trying to ignore the red flags. When people have red flags and you're not you see yourself apparently a lot more different than these people, and these people have these flaws, red flags, slice and dice. You got to go slice and dice. You got to go some. They're not. A lot of times, the universe, God is trying to show you that this is who you're going to be around. If you continue to talk to him, this is who you're going to be. And that's why you cannot ignore the red flags in people. All right, let's talk about it. You got to learn how to trust yourself. Trust your own judgment. Trust your own judgment. I'm telling you this, when people come around me and they're off, and I'm communicating with them, and I go by their certain reactions, right? Me, I'm the kind of person, I got to the point I learned, me personally, I learned that you are who you are around. I'm gonna repeat that again. You are who you are around. If I cannot relate to you, you can't teach me anything. You can't, we can't vibe off of some good positive energy. And I see that, like, if I can have a conversation with you and we could talk about some real stuff, you know what I mean? We could talk about making money, business. We could talk about some good talk about spirituality. I love talking about God. I love talking about the things that I've been through, and I love to uplift people. If you can't do that with me, I can't even be around you. I got to the point in my life where I learned to judge my own. I have to write this down because sometimes I'll be all over the place. I learned to trust my own judgment. I'm telling you. Now, I don't judge anybody, but I'll tell you this. If there's certain things that you're lacking in, and I'm seeing that, like, for example, you like to flip out on people. You like to talk about people. You love to, for example, those 2 things. And I'm not like that. I know for sure I'm not like that, right? Or you like being around different type of people and you just vibe off of their energy and you don't even know who they are. I will not even put the time in and even try to talk to you. Seriously. Another thing too, we have to learn that most people, and I understand that you really don't want any confrontation, right? I know, for example, some people stick around people and you see the red flags, and what do? You stick around them and just trying to be cool with them, and because you don't like confrontation, right? Or that particular relationship that you're in, you just don't want to end that relationship because you don't want to be alone. You got to learn. I'm telling you, in these times, you got to let people have it. And when I mean let them have it, sometimes you're going to have to get into some type of confrontation for you to let them know, like, yo, this is not what I am. I don't want to be around you. And 9 times out of 10, when you let them know, like, yo, and like I said, this is some type of confrontation that you have to get into and let them know, like, yo, I'm good. I don't want to be around you. Okay, cool. Like, you know what? This is your thing. It's cool. You know what I mean? Keep doing your thing. And I hope the best for you. Sometimes you got to get into situations like that with people, because people will not understand you unless you really speak to them in a way of letting them know that, hey, this is my value. This is who I am. This is who I'm going to be. I can't be around you if you're like that. That relationship that you're in, they're going to keep on disrespecting you. That right there, you ignoring their red flags, yo, they just let you know this is how the relationship is going to be. This is how the relationship is going to be if you're with me. Especially if they let you know in the beginning that, yo, these type of flaws that they have, and this is how the relationship is. Especially if they just got out of a relationship, or they'll let you know that they're in a relationship and they're dealing with you. Basically, they're just letting you know, hey, you know, if I'm done with that person, or if I'm with this person, you got to deal with it. Period. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times, us as people, we just, and I used to be like that too, to the point where I seen the red flags. For example, I used to deal with a particular woman. She used to like to party. She likes to get into problems with people. She's around people that have problems. And now that I'm in a relationship with her, at the time, she felt like, hey, you know what I mean? You know, this is how I was. Or I'm not going to change. So you got red flag. In the beginning, they let you know how things are going to be. People will not change for you. They're going to change when they see that they're not how can I say? When people see, they'll learn through their own traumas. People will learn through their own traumas, so that's how they learn. You coming into their life, especially if you're positive, they're going to just try to destroy you. You can give them advice at a particular moment in their lives, and maybe at that time that's when you're supposed to be in their lives, you know, and to help them by communicating with them and giving words of wisdom. But that was just that. But when it comes to the point where you're in a relationship with them, now you really pushed it. It was your fault because you really pushed it because you know that you wasn't supposed to be with that person. Maybe at that particular time that, you know, they knew that, okay, hey, you know, I like this person, you know what I mean? And you tell them, hey, I find you attractive, I like you, but look, what you're doing, that's not part of me. I'm not judging you. I hope the best for you. And you just let them know, hey, and that right there could be a lesson for them. Like, yo, dang, I maybe need to change, man, because, dang, I just lost a good person that could be valuable in my life. And, you know, with my flaws, and of course, I've been honest. I need to change because I do want to get around a person like that. Maybe in the future, you could get with that person and things could work out. But at that particular moment, it can't. But what I'm trying to get you to understand is that you got to learn that certain things that you trying to avoid, like confrontation, or you're afraid of being alone, you're going to have to go through that. You're going to have to go through that, love, because what's going to happen is when you can be able to distance yourself from these type of people, right, that have these type of red flags, any type of red flags, and you leave that alone and you choose yourself, I'm telling you, blessings in the things that you really want is going to come to you, and what you wanted is going to be even better. All right, if that makes any sense. All right, I wrote another one. Let me read that. That's another thing too about people with red flags, right? You got to understand. And let me give you an example. If you don't understand what red flags mean, I'm going to read it to you. Red flags mean that there are signs that will indicate unhealthy and manipulative behaviors. I had to write that down. Red flags are warnings and signs that will indicate unhealthy and manipulative behaviors. Alright? So just in case if you did not understand what red flags were, now you understand, alright? And you gotta understand, how would you know if a person have red flags? Usually me, I would say that you'll notice these things, like, you know, if it's two things that, you know, I could always say one, if you see one thing that's just like, yo, that's kind of off a little bit. Usually, you know, things could, you know what I mean, you can't judge anybody, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, everybody has their own flaws. But usually when you see 2 red flags or more, I won't even deal with it. That's how you know that, okay, there's a red flags, right? If it's two is a little too much. One flaw, I mean, for example, if it's a red flag where somebody, you know, don't dress kind of good, you know what I mean? Or, you know, okay, you could cheat them, but like, you know, that's just an example I'm getting. I don't know, that's a bad example, but if you, any type of red flags that you see that's kind of off, that's really, really off, and that's more than twice, usually I say 1, that's just me. But I'm understanding now that nobody's perfect. All right, let's keep it real. We're gonna keep it all the way funky. Nobody's perfect, but at the same time, but it's more than 2 things that you're seeing in a person that has 2 red flags. Yo, nah, leave them alone. Sometimes you just gotta, you know what? I see you, cool. You know what I mean? And you gotta understand people. When people have red flags, they're letting you know that's who they are. Let's give an example. When somebody just getting out of a relationship, that's a red flag. For me, that's a red flag. I'm gonna tell you why. Because you just got a relationship and now you're on a date. You're telling me that you haven't healed yet. You are telling me that, yo, you know what? These emotions that I'm carrying on, I haven't healed yet. So with me not healing, and I'm getting into a relationship with you, and I'm trying to get into a situation with you, these are things that you have to deal with. All right? I don't care how you feel. And this is what people are telling. I mean, at least this is how I'm feeling. And if you could relate to how I'm feeling when I'm telling you, then okay. We're on the same page. Like I said, not everybody's going to agree with me, which is okay. But if you're just getting out of a relationship and you haven't healed yet, but you want a relationship because you want to, you know, forget what happened on your past relationship, it's not going to work. Because what that person is telling you, and let's say use me for an example, what you're telling me, yo, you know what I mean, this is what I'm dealing with, this is what you have to deal with. If I lash out on you, if I feel if I'm insecure, if I feel that you're cheating on me and based on what that other person did, and there will relate certain things that you did what that person did, yo, this is what you got to deal with. I don't care how you feel, because this is how I feel, and that's a red flag. For me personally, if you're telling me, like for example, I was just on a date, it was a few weeks ago, and beautiful woman. One red flag that she did, I was getting ready to leave, and this girl told me, hey, we're gonna cancel. I call her girl. We were supposed to be on the date on 5. She hit me up last minute and said, hey, you know, she going to come at 7:30. So I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm trying to get out my own ways. All right, cool. Last minute you hit me up and you told me 7:30. That was a red flag. Because you knew that, okay, you have your phone, you're on your phone all the time. You could have texted me and hit me up and say, hey, you know, I'm going to be late. How about we push this? Give me an option. Okay, cool. Give her a chance and everything. And then cool, I met her at 7:30. I was already hungry, so I came in, I already ordered. I thought she wasn't going to come. She said, hey, I'm here. 7:30 we were supposed to meet, but she didn't come until almost 8 o'clock. All right, cool. She just popped out of nowhere, you know. So we had a conversation, and she told me she was sorry. I'm like, all right, cool. You know, why not? You know what I mean? I'll just have a conversation with you and just chop it up. I mean, from that point on, I just already knew that it was kind of something off for her, even in spite of, like, she was really beautiful. You know what I mean? She was good looking. Not that that means anything to me, but I'm like, all right, you know, I haven't been on a date for a long time. Cool. And this girl came in, and I'm telling you, this is the second red flag she gave me. This girl had the nerve to come and tell me her past relationship and what the guy went through, and if you're gonna be with me, this is how things are gonna be. And I said, and I had to tell her, I said, it sounds to me you haven't healed yet. And I look into her eyes, I said, by the way your eyes look, you look like you cry yourself to sleep every night. Because you fear of being with someone, but at the same time you want someone to be with you at night and hold you. For some odd reason, this just came on my heart, and I just told her that. You know, this girl almost cried and told me, shook her head. She said, "Oh my God, are you a psychic?" And I said, I mean, of course I have experience with women, and I can feel her energy, but I'm telling you, it was many things that she did that had red flags. But at the same time, I was like, yo, at that point right there, I was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna chill with homegirl. We're gonna have a conversation. Whatever happens, happens. But at the same time, I can't be in a relationship with her. I can't even kick it with her like that. I already know it's not gonna go nowhere. Seen her a couple of times, you know. She's like, hey, you know, how come you haven't messaged me? This, that, and third. You know, even though I messaged her, she never messaged me back. But she's trying to play these games. But these are times where these are the type of red flags you will see with people. And I'm not afraid to tell you about this, because if you're watching this video, you can relate to this topic. And this is one of the things too, when I talk about these videos, get a little out of the subject, I use humility. In my videos, I use my vulnerability and humility in explaining to you on my past and what I'm going through, because you can relate. A lot of people have ego and they're afraid to talk about these things, but I'm not, because I know that you can learn from me, because you're listening to me, you're watching me, and you see yourself in me because you are me. Alright? So that's what I'm talking about right here. Stop avoiding people. I apologize. You cannot ignore people that would tell you and show you their red flags. Alright? These are just examples, right? I done told you about, I done told you about people telling you their red flags, and people will show it to you too. You know, I talked about it a little bit in the video, you know, where people would just start lashing out, you know, arguments, you know, having little discussions about, these are red flags about people. This is how people are showing you. These are an example, right? Now, comment below. Give us some examples and let me know signs of people that you should ignore when they give you red flags. Alright? So, again, I'm about to end this video and just let you know this is your best friend, your new best friend. And comment below. You know what I mean? There's no judgment over here. You know what I mean? This channel is about you. It's about us. You know what I mean? This channel right here, I want people to just be happy. You know what I mean? Just be real. Let's keep it real worldwide. Everybody's going through this in this world that we're in, you know? Alright? And just to let you know, description below, ladies, keep up with the latest luxury styles and trends at gorgeous271.com. Alright? And just listen, this is your best friend, your new best friend. And I'll see you on the next video.